There's nothing like feeling young and free. Gonna leave it all behind, all behind. Time goes by so fast. Time goes by so fast.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a bit different from what I do usually because it's not about frames and my pickle setups and things like this. It is on the way I do crossfire on my builds, and I'm not the only one, but I still get on a side questions on how to make these small antennas, and that's what I want primarily to show here. And also on the fact that when you discuss with serious people from Team Black Sheep about these trimmed antennas, they say most of the time that we are doing it wrong because you lose the benefit of range of the crossfire antenna, and it's not a good way to make antennas for your or micros. They say you'd better use XF race antenna or the small VAS full range PCB antenna that they are selling, and such products, because they are more convenient for our builds. But from what I notice is that this kind of antenna is difficult to put on a build because you have to put it vertically and probably stick at some angle, and it sticks out, will take damages more easily, may break, and I noticed that I also get in some situations low signal warnings, especially when I fly away from me on a clear field. I got the issue, while I never get this issue with these trimmed antennas. So maybe have some interest for some of you to see how we are building these antennas. Also notice that manufactured antenna such this one will be soon sold on Bob Rugi's FPV cycle website shop, and apparently it is made by Team Black Sheep, even if they don't want to put their name on it. They were somehow forced to make these antennas for Bob. Let's see how they will look like and how good those will be. But know that you just have to know that you can make your own, so it's quite easy. I'll show you a bit later. Just a few things on how antennas and RF works, even if I'm not an RF engineer. I have some technical background anyway, not in this domain particularly, but some simple principle that I can try to explain and share with you on this topic, just as a quick starter. So basically, the size of antenna is corresponding to its frequency. So not directly, but through its wavelengths. In fact, the antenna length matches the wavelengths somehow of the radio transmission, which is made on certain frequency. In case of Crossfire, the frequencies are known. It's 868 megahertz in Europe usually, and 915 megahertz elsewhere. So the size of the antenna matches the frequency through a simple formula, which is depending on the speed of light. So to calculate lambda, which is the wavelength, You just need to know the speed of light, which is publicly known, and the frequency you are working on, which is also known here. And this antenna is a dipole, so we are going to replicate this at another size. Common dipoles are made of two parts that are linked to the RX. And which was the best beside the full wavelength antenna, which is quite big. For Crossfire, it will be 35 centimeters, is half wavelengths or quarter wavelengths. So this particular antenna is corresponding to the half wavelength antenna, which is one of the best size you can make. That's why it works so well. The stock antenna works so well on our bigger builds. And each part of the antenna, in fact, is quarter wavelength size. What we are doing practically when we are trimming the original antennas to this size, which is here lambda divided by 8, we are just reducing the size of the antenna, but not corresponding to a calculation, not we are not cutting it mindlessly and something like that. The size of this antenna is not optimal, so you will not get the full range, and it's not necessarily the way you are building an antenna. No one will build it this size. If you ask someone, make me a lambda divided by 8 antenna, a dipole, you say no, because it's not the best performance. So it's useless. Yes, obviously it's useless to make it like this, because you will not get the best performance. But in our case, it doesn't matter, because the stock Crossfire radio with the stock antennas used correctly are sold to up to 40 kilometers. So even if our antenna performs 90% worse than the stock antenna, we still get like 4 kilometers. So it's fine for a micro build, especially if you're not considering doing long range flights where you go very far and things like that. It's perfectly fine. Even if you get 1 kilometer out of the antenna, which is not tuned and matched correctly or in the best way to do it, it still remains fine for our application. So basically it just works. That's it. I think I already talked too much. It's time to show you how to make this antenna. I will use this antenna wire, thin antenna wire that was bought for Wi-Fi application of 2.4 gigahertz. So the antenna length here is lambda divided by 4, because it's a good length for Wi-Fi. So it's 3.1 centimeter exposed antenna wire, and the rest is the plastic and the metallic shielding of the antenna. So basically what we are going to do here is to transform this monopole antenna in a dipole antenna. And how are we going to do this? We are going to define a length of the antenna, so the part which is not exposed, and we'll use the central part of the antenna as one side of the dipole. We'll cut a piece of it and solder to the shielding and make the second part of the dipole, and both of them are connected to the RX through the UFL IPEX connector. You can use the stock non-immortality antenna that you get with your Crossfire receiver to do this. You have to trim it and basically resolder it. Or you can buy a bag of these wires with the UFL and IPEX connector from AliExpress, maybe from Banggood as well. RF shops may sell it with the connector attached, which is way more convenient than having to crimp it by yourself. So it's like $50 or even less for such an antenna wire. So it's very cheap to buy a bag and make your own antennas like that. So let's see how we are doing this right now. Just a quick note, I forget to mention that I learned to make these antennas from a guy from Facebook, whose name is Febu FPV, and from David Pierce, who is a well-known user of this size of antenna. So that's where I get the details and precision of how to make it. I also notice some RC groups older posts about how to make antennas the size you want, and maybe even for Crossfire. So it's not something that I'm inventing on or showing you like this. I learned it from somewhere. So the first move I made to build the antenna is to expose some of the shielding using such a tool at the smallest size, because I need it to be longer to cut a bit of it and reuse it for the dipole, and also to have some shielding here that I'm going to use to solder to it. So basically, once you remove some of the plastic protection from the antenna wire, you get the shielding exposed, and you practically take it down and cut it to the needed size. I'll show you it just in a few minutes. So now that I stripped the shielding, I leave just a small bit that I'm going to group and to twist here, because I need to solder this for the antenna to work as a dipole antenna. So be careful to get all the little strands of metallic wire in the same braid to get something clean, and don't leave some going around. So let me just come back and trim it correctly to show you how it works for the rest. And now I just clean all this to get something clean to solder on. And I will, as I know that in fact my antenna will be a lambda 8 made with lambda 16 parts. Let me show you the table here. I know quickly. I will put this on the video more clean, I think. So I'm going to make a lambda 8 wall length antenna, 860 megahertz. So each side of the antenna will be 2.16 centimeters. So knowing that, I know that I need 2 centimeters plus 2 centimeters, let's say. So I will cut a piece of the exposed wire that I will just basically strip down. Let me pick it correctly. I will strip a bit of wire here because it's plastic enclosed, and just solder it like this, and it will make our dipole antenna. So here's the exposed antenna wire. When exposing the wire here, be very careful because it's very fragile. It's very small and thin, and it's very easy to cut it. So make sure you have enough length to build the antenna at the end. So I use the cutter to gently cut the plastic enclosure and take it out. So let's solder. So this is for the one side and the other side. So now I'm just going to shorter this a bit, make something clean. Just tiny because it's easier for me to solder this way for the video. And the dipole is assembled, as you can see. The only thing that we have to do now is just to trim it to the correct length for our application. In my case, it will be 868 megahertz to fit the European frequencies we are supposed to use here. So in our case, I'm going to make each side of the dipole lambda divided by 16, so 2.16, 2 centimeters, 16 millimeters. As my tools are not so precise, I'll do my best to fit it to the right length. So basically I just draw on the paper the length, and I'm going to put from the center of the soldering to the length of the antenna here. So I stick it here and I just cut at the length. And one side is, and you do the same on the other side. So here we are. We have now a lambda divided by 8 crossfire dipole trimmed for 868 megahertz. The antenna is quite fragile as is, so the last step I do before mounting on my quads, as you can see or may not see here, is that I use a piece of zip tie, 2 millimeters wide, and practically I use a bit of hot glue to stick the antenna on the plastic. So I put it like this, and then I use some heat shrink tube to protect all this, and I install it on my receiver here and on the quad. So I hope that it will be useful for someone. Do not hesitate to comment, say that I'm doing bullshit with these antennas. That still works, not as good as Crossfire legit antenna, let's say, but works fine for micros at least. Like, dislike, subscribe, but tell something about this video. Thank you, see you next time.